Hi guys, and in today's video, we're talking about how one can make a large amount of money in a short space of time. What are the methods that typically, work? So I've got 5 here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you try any of these, do you know anyone that's had any success with these? Number 1, angel investing in the right startup that does very well. In fact, I published a video recently about a food startup in the UK called Oddbox, which has gone up 30x in the last 4 years. I didn't invest in them early. I actually invested in them very recently. So I've only made 30% rather than 30x, but nevertheless, you can do well from angel investing. Peter Thiel was an early investor in Facebook, the company I work for. He exited recently and made quite a lot of money. The second way to make large gains in short periods of time, or relatively short periods of time, is finding the right startup. Sorry, no, scrap that. Finding the right shares, that's what I meant. So if you find the right shares at the right time, an example of this in my life has been cyclicals. So in 2010, I found some really interesting house builders which were losing money at the time, which I thought would bounce back. In fact, they did. They went up 12x, but I only invested in some of them. I waited about 6 months until I thought it was a bit safer. So mine, I think, only went up 5x, but some people will have got 10 to 15x. So that's cyclicals. You can make money in cyclicals. You can also make money in, and I've got some videos on this channel, actually, I believe, talking about those companies. So you can tell I'm not bullshitting because the evidence is public. So you can check out those older videos. If you look for videos from, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, you'll find them. And growth companies as well. Domino's Pizza was a company I invested in, and that went up about 10x as well. Albeit the reason I'm not wealthy, folks, is because I invested small amounts of money. So I think with a lot of these, it really depends with how much you start. Nevertheless, let me know if anyone else has invest in growth companies, because you can do well. And I think I don't want to be too negative here. Like, I think 10x of anything is pretty good. Even if you're putting in 100 or 1,000 or 5,000, you 10x that, and it does make a difference. And it allowed me to buy my first property, some of my share investing. So there you go. 3, options. Options, I think, are very interesting. You can do incredibly well. I'll probably be posting some videos of my options experience. I did a lot of options trading in 2019 and then loads in 2020 with the market crash. I timed that perfectly, and I'll show you the evidence in the videos. But it's interesting. Options, it's incredibly high risk. I made insane amounts, relative to my own situation. Of course, I'm not talking millions, but I did make a amount. In some cases, it was 100% in a day of my liquid cash that I'd invested, which was all of the money I had at the time, actually. So that was interesting. The interesting ride of options trading. I think it's very good for specific scenarios, whether that's, in my case, I was trading the indexes and I thought there'd be a market crash. So I invested heavily in put options. But people have also done incredibly well backing individual companies that are on a roaring tear, like people that backed Tesla with call options. So people can do very, very, very well from options. And if anyone's got experience with that, let us know in the comments. That's always interesting. And the 4th is crypto wins. There are people that are out there that backed cryptos early. A friend of mine backed Ethereum early and made $500,000 or something like that. So there are people that backed cryptos early as well. And 5th, by no means the least, is business, and that's kind of a catch-all, really. I think one can do well in business, and I think it's probably the hardest way, but also the most likely way. So the hardest way meaning the most effort, but I think it's probably the most likely to happen. The other four, if you think about it, finding the right angel investment startup, finding the right share, options are quite high risk, and you can lose money as well. And I did lose money as well, but overall I did do okay from options. But it kind of kickstarted my angel investing career, if you like. And the fourth, cryptos is very hit and miss. Fifth, business, I think, is a little bit more stable, especially if you pick a relatively stable business. I think it's more likely than the other four. Let me know what you guys have done. As you know from this channel, I pretty much have covered quite a few of these. I've got a lot of videos on angel investing and some on stocks that I've invested in, including some from many years ago. I haven't covered options, but I think I'm considering doing a video about my options trading. 3 years ago, in March of this year, potentially. I think I've got a new editing computer, so I might do that. I haven't really covered crypto because I haven't really got that involved in crypto. The only investment I've really done in crypto is I own a little bit of a share, if you like, of an angel startup called Wirex, which is a crypto platform. I decided that would be safer, albeit that was well before the FTX collapse recently. I'm hoping Wirex is a little bit kind of fiscally conservative. I think they are. I actually interviewed for their CMO role many years ago. Business, I had some experience with business, but only very small businesses. I think my most recent foray, if you like, into business has been both freelancing on the side and Airbnb type property businesses. I haven't done much on that, but I think I might cover some of that because I'm quite interested in it. I think maybe this year and next year might be a really interesting time to get involved in property, because I think this might be a downgrading or a collapse or crash or correction or however you want to call it. That might release some opportunity in the property space. So I'm kind of interested in that, guys. That's been my 5 kind of ways I think people can make outsized gains in kind of short periods of time. Anything from kind of a week to a couple of years. Let me know if you try any of these, or if you think I've missed any. I haven't, I'm sure there are other ways as well. I suppose something that falls outside of the 5 that's come to mind. I watch these kind of mining programs on television on like gold and opal mining and diamond mining. I think that's probably prospecting in the mineral space, and the commodity space is probably another category, potentially a 6th category there. But if you've got any others, let me know in the comment section below. I do have playlists, a bunch of videos where I analyze different opportunities within the angel space and also listed equity space, and a bit on property as well. So make sure to check those out. Like and subscribe. Remember that knowledge is power, especially the right kind of knowledge, and that progress, of course, is everything. I'll see you guys in the next upcoming video. Take care.